It's hard to think of anything more quintessentially 1970s than Charlie's Angels. Three beautiful women retained by the mysterious Charlie Townsend to solve crimes and right wrongs. Fabulous outfits, exotic vehicles, and absurd adventures mark this classic series. Let's take a closer look at Ayn Rand's favorite television series, Charlie's Angels.
Initiate sequence. Retrotron Entertainment presents
That 70s Nerd. I explore the hidden depths of 1970s pop culture, from movies and television to books, comics and magazines, music, toys, and technology. Discover forgotten classics and hidden gems you will not find anywhere else with That 70s Nerd. Charlie's Angels originally aired from 1976 to 1981 on the ABC network. With 5 seasons and 110 episodes, the show became iconic for its mix of crime-solving intrigue, adventure, and the portrayal of strong, glamorous women who work as private investigators. Conceived by Aaron Spelling and Leonard Goldberg, the series was produced by Spelling Goldberg Productions. After the success of Police Woman, the first hour-long drama starring a woman, Angie Dickinson, Ivan Goff, and Ben Roberts came up with the idea for a series about 3 beautiful female private investigators, but as more of a fantasy premise. Producers Aaron Spelling and Leonard Goldberg first considered actress Kate Jackson as the lead, Kelly Garrett, since she had already starred in another police television drama, The Rookies. But Jackson was more interested in the role of Sabrina Duncan.
Goldberg, Spelling, and Jackson continued brainstorming.
I stood up and said, okay, but what if you had, say, 3 women who worked for, my eyes just happened to fall on the speakerphone on Aaron's desk. Somebody that they never saw because he called them. And they were detectives, and he would call them to give them their assignment. And his name was like, I don't know, Harry or something. It was an oil painting of 3 angels.
And she said, well, we call it the Angels. And we just looked at each other, and from then on it was called
Harry's Angels.
But the producers later realized the title Harry's Angels wouldn't work at ABC.
Well, we were calling it Harry's Angels, but a show went on the air called Harry O with David Jansen.
So the creative team crafted a new title, Charlie's Angels.
Next to be cast was Farrah Fawcett as Jill Monroe. She was offered the part by Spelling after he had viewed her performance in the 1976 film Logan's Run. Jacqueline Smith underwent a grueling audition process for the role of Kelly Garrett. Spelling and Goldberg were initially less than enthusiastic, since the original concept concerned a brunette, blonde, and a redhead. But no one could deny Smith's chemistry and charm, and the role was hers. Charlie's Angels was a ratings juggernaut, consistently ranking among the top shows during its initial years. The series was nominated for several awards throughout its run, including Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, mainly for the performances and production values. Unsurprisingly, the series ranked high in the People's Choice Awards, winning Favorite Overall New TV Program and Favorite Female Performer in a New TV Program in 1977. Charlie's Angels followed an episodic structure, with each installment featuring a self-contained story. Typically, the Angels were assigned a case at the beginning of the episode, and the narrative would unfold as they investigated leads, encountered obstacles, and ultimately solved the mystery. The story would wrap up by the end, usually with the perpetrators being apprehended. While the show did not have a serialized storyline that carried over multiple episodes, it did occasionally feature 2-part episodes that allowed for larger narratives. The types of cases the Angels took on were varied, ranging from thefts, kidnappings, and murders to espionage and white-collar crimes. The settings were equally diverse, spanning from glamorous urban locales to more subdued rural areas, and even international destinations in some episodes. The variety in the types of cases and settings added an element of unpredictability to the series and kept audiences engaged. The Angels had distinct personalities and skill sets that complemented one another, creating a balanced team that could tackle any obstacle. This was evident not only in their professional interactions, but also in the friendships and camaraderie they shared on screen. One of the most enduring mysteries of the series was the character of Charlie Townsend, the Angels' employer, whose face was never seen on camera. His presence added a layer of intrigue and was a unique plot element. Despite his absence, Charlie's influence was always present. He guided the Angels via speakerphone, provided them with essential information, and was crucial in solving cases. His role as a benevolent yet unseen mentor made him an enduring part of the show's mystique. Charlie's Angels was notable for its combination of action and glamour. High adrenaline scenes like car chases, hand-to-hand combat, and undercover operations were frequently juxtaposed with glamorous elements like fashion, luxurious settings, and social events. The Angels were often seen in stylish attire, but they were just as comfortable in action sequences, showcasing their versatility both in character and skill sets. The show often used trained stunt doubles for the more dangerous scenes, but the actresses themselves also performed many of their own stunts, adding a layer of excitement and apparent authenticity. The quality of the stunts and fights was high, and the series often looked more like a feature film than a television show. The wardrobe choices in Charlie's Angels were as crucial to the show's identity as the characters themselves. Costume designers tailored outfits that were both glamorous and functional, encapsulating the show's unique blend of action and fashion. The Angels would often don multiple outfits within a single episode, ranging from high-fashion ensembles for undercover operations to more practical attire for action scenes. The fashion-forward choices became trendsetters, heavily influencing popular styles of the era. Charlie's Angels also attracted a slew of guest stars, adding another layer of excitement to the episodes. Notable guest stars included actors like Tommy Lee Jones, Kim Basinger, Sammy Davis Jr., and Dean Martin, Scatman Crothers, and future stars such as Dirk Benedict of Battlestar Galactica and A-Team fame, and Jamie Lee Curtis, among many, many others. This would be, frankly, impossible today, as there are no more real stars, not like we used to have. Social media killed the movie star. Charlie's Angels was a prime slice of campy, frivolous 70s entertainment. It served up plenty of thrills, alluring fantasy, innocent laughs, and some elements of the exploitation genre. The formula would be copied many times, especially on television. The series also led to an explosion of merchandise that capitalized on its popularity. The array of Charlie's Angels products was vast. Action figures, lunchboxes, board games, posters, and even a line of fashion dolls. Farrah Fawcett's hairstyle became a rage, and many salons across the country found themselves flooded with requests for the Farrah flick. In fact, beauty and fashion trends were so heavily influenced by the show that clothing lines and makeup brands launched special Charlie's Angels collections. Charlie's Angels wasn't just a hit in the US, it also captured audiences worldwide. It was syndicated in many countries, and its global success illustrated the universal appeal of the concept. Whether dubbed or subtitled, the series found a following in many languages and cultures, reinforcing its status as a global phenomenon. The original Charlie's Angels cast consisted of Jackson as Sabrina Duncan, Farrah Fawcett as Jill Monroe, and Jacqueline Smith as Kelly Garrett. Even though the series was a blockbuster success, the cast underwent several major shakeups. The first cast change came in 1977, when Farrah Fawcett left the show after its first season. Fawcett played a key role in attracting viewers to Charlie's Angels. And while everything from lunchboxes to board games featured Fawcett's face, she received just 2% of the merchandising income. Thanks to the success of the first season, Fawcett was in line for a raise to $10,000 per episode. But according to the Washington Post, it was rumored she wanted $75,000. In terms of merchandising, she reportedly requested 10%. However, the production company discovered Fawcett wasn't interested in negotiating. The reality was that Farrah was tired of television and believed she'd have a better career in movies. Ironically, it is Charlie's Angels that she is now remembered for. Model actress Cheryl Ladd was brought in to replace her, playing Jill's sister, Chris Monroe. This change initially sparked controversy, as fans were skeptical about a new addition to the team. However, Ladd proved to be a successful replacement, and the show continued to thrive. In the following years, Kate Jackson also decided to leave the show due to personal reasons. Her departure in 1979 led to the introduction of Shelley Hack as Tiffany Wells. Unfortunately, this change did not sit well with viewers, and Hack was dropped after only one season. In her place, Tanya Roberts was brought in as Julie Rogers, a character who was initially intended to be a recurring guest star, but ultimately became a full-time angel. Charlie's Angels was never the critics' darling. The series was lambasted for being sexist, violent, mindless, and exploitive. That's probably why kids, like me, the least demanding audience, were so quick to fall in love with it. The concept was simple, the stories easy to follow, and the happy ending guaranteed. But there's something to learn from Charlie's Angels. Sometimes the audience is right. Instead of vilifying and lecturing its audience, Charlie's Angels celebrated its viewers and rewarded them with more of what they loved best about it. It's hard to imagine that happening today. Charlie's Angels might be a relic of a bygone era of pop culture, and it may be a guilty pleasure, but it still entertains. Not many in Hollywood today seem to understand that simple principle.